Hello to our fabulous faculty. First of all, we're so excited to do this for you today, and we hope that you find these little, tips helpful. First, let me introduce you to the Dot. As you may remember, we introduced some of these books that are get ready to launch writing training in August. They're still here for you to check out, and we are expecting you to check them out like yesterday, if possible. So let me read this to you very quickly. At the school art show a few weeks ago, Vashit's many dots made quite a splash. So what are we dealing with there? Descriptive language, onomatopoeia. How can we help our children understand what we read? So here's a strategy called visualization. We need to help our children create mental images of what they read, or sensory images, because when they use their senses, they create an emotional attachment to what they're reading. It's an emotional involvement, I guess, to what they're reading. So I'm going to share with you something that we invested on, and I had to get permission from our banker, Ms. Hines, to be able to purchase this fabulous resource. So here we go, creating mental images. You see the 5 senses, the child is reading, the child is thinking. Good readers become emotionally involved with what they read. That's a very important key point. So to introduce the strategy, we use a book that has descriptive language and create an anchor chart. The anchor chart will describe what visualizing is. Let me share with you a little bit about this anchor chart. You're going to have it on your board. You're going to choose a quote or a passage from the book that you're reading, and you're going to put it inside a clear plastic protector. Cut it in half. Put it up there. Then you're going to put a big thought bubble, and in that big thought bubble, your students are going to get a sticky note and slap on there their visualization of that quote. You can do it as a whole class activity. You can do it in a small group, or even a think, pair, share, which I'll get into that in a minute. Then when we practice this strategy, we need to make sure that we use the book, you go through the activity I said, and guess what else? That will help practice listening comprehension. The turn and talk is important because one of them will read a passage. Let's say Ms. Hines and she's reading to me. So I am visualizing, I'm drawing a picture. Then I read to her the same passage, and she's going to visualize the picture. Then we're going to turn and talk about that visualization. I say, no, I don't think you got it right. Well, why do you think I didn't? So agree to disagree respectfully. There's nothing wrong with that. Make sure that we have each student draw their own illustration. Not that they share. Each one of them has to do it. Also, please check on students while they're doing that. While they're finishing up, as a teacher, I would go around making sure that everybody is illustrating. And that also helps you as a teacher monitor their understanding, or if they're lost, or if they're still with you, are they on task or not on task, and also if they're working collaboratively in a respectful manner. So you ask the children, what did you see in your mind? Very important, guys. Guess what's next? The next question is, what words in the text made you see that? What phrase in that text helped you visualize that? That kind of goes back to what? Find text evidence, right? That's right. So that's very useful. Also, now the next point is ongoing practice of this strategy. You got to make sure you have this reusable anchor chart. Make sure it's always up there, always updated, always a different quote or a different passage. And so that way the children are always like, oh, wow, let's see what she put up there today, and let's visualize it. They have to get into that habit and feeling comfortable with their reading. It's very also important to, I think I'm looking at my notes. Thank you very much. When we start teaching, we look at our notes, right? We visualize. So more ways to practice. Again, the think, pair, share. But guess what? In talking to Ms. Tazano today and sharing this activity, she said, guess what? We have done the KWL chart. The what I know, what I want to know, and what I've learned. But guess what? Where was she worked at? At the middle school, they used the visualization philosophy. So the children would draw what they knew, what they want to learn, and what they learned. I think that's really fabulous. And it connects really well with this strategy. So here's an example of visualizing in my mind. The text helped me picture, blah, blah, blah. Now, I always taught, and I'll go back to when I taught 10th grade literature. I told my students, when you read, you're developing a movie in your mind. Here, look, they're still working it. I would have become a millionaire had I patented that back then. Okay, visualize as you read. This is more for the lower level kiddo. So here is the, and we're going to provide these for you. When you put on yes, that was Miss Hines' idea. Put your glasses on, and through your lens, what do you see after I read what I read to you? So, and then guess what? They still have to write it down. Going back to text evidence. So let's talk about visualizing by creating a mental image. You see the text evidence, you have the page number, text evidence, mental image. Do you see how this amazingly connects to text evidence? And some of our kids still have trouble with it. So then visualizing, create a sensory image. Oh, check it out. Nose, eyes, mouth, touch, listen. So based on whatever you read, if it motivates your smell or your hearing, whatever, that's when you're going to create that image. I think this is a really good visual for those struggling readers. Like Ms. Reyes, I don't know what you mean by visualizing. Oh, well, then you use this because you're going to use your 5 senses. This one also, using your senses to visualize. Good readers use what? The 5 senses. Here are the 5 senses. This is what the book said. This is what I envision. Isn't that wonderful? Ms. Lang, isn't that wonderful? Thank you, Ms. Lang. Okay. Visualize, text to mind. It gets a little bit more sophisticated. Here's the passage from the book and the mental image. And then again, another, and it says, at first I visualized, it even gives you a sentence stem to begin writing. Now, check out this engagement with your emotional understanding of the book. I felt that when, whatever. And there's the page number. I think this is a really good tool. You could even cut it, have it for their journals for readers' responses. Why not? And that is the end of my strategy, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.